Tampa Bay Lightning in town to take on the Montreal Canadiens. It's time for the Talking Habs pregame show before every Montreal Canadiens hockey game. Previews, lineups, and the Guess the Score contest. Here's your hosts, Rick and Matt. Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs. We get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. Matt will be in at the hangout tonight. He won't be here at the pregame show. So let's see who's here. We have Julie. Hey Julie. Daryl Adams and Habs Guru. How's it going? Let's see now. If I was Molson, would I let Price and Petrie take the year off and just tank and try to get first pick? I would. Well, I'd say this. I mean, I don't know if that's Molson's decision completely, but I mean, I think Carey Price. I'm going to tell you, honestly, I think Carey Price might never play again for the Montreal Canadiens. I think that's a big possibility with all this possible rebuild going on. Yeah, I think that's a big possibility. I don't expect Price, honestly, back till sometime in January. If he does come back to the Montreal Canadiens, Jeff Petrie should sit till he's healthy. Plain and simple, he's only hurting the Canadiens when he plays right now. So, and it obviously helps the tank, which is where the direction that they should go in, because the season's shot. I mean, there's no. So yeah, I don't know that I would tell them to sit for the rest of it. I don't know, but I think it's going to happen kind of anyway. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what decision they come up with as far as a rebuild or a reset or what they're going to do to straighten out this team. So we'll see where that goes. So, hey, everybody. I know this is a very early hour for me. It's 4 o'clock instead of 6. I'm experimenting for the right time to do this show so that it actually gets a little bit of traction and that people actually watch it. Because if I do it too close to the game, it doesn't have a lot of time for people to watch it. So I'm trying to experiment to see what the right time is. So my apologies if it's a little early for people watching this on playback and going, damn, why is he doing it so early? My apologies. Like I said, just an experiment for time. I've got a lot of stuff. I was going to do it like a news video. I found most of the news was NHL news and wasn't really Habs, so I didn't do that. It's another reason for the early start. I'm going to give you all the stuff that I have. It's a lot. Let's get right into it. And so hopefully on replay, you guys enjoy that. And the people that are here, I hope you enjoy this as well. So we're going to start out with, and by the way, before I get to all this, any Toronto Maple Leafs fans that might be watching this, my apologies. I don't mean anything against Toronto Maple Leafs fans in general, but there's some Maple Leafs news. I have a certain lean on it, and I don't know if I'm a little nasty today or not, but when I wrote all this and I put this all together, I think I kind of was. So here we go. First story up is yesterday. Well, this actually happened 2 nights ago, and it was Winnipeg and Toronto game, and it was kind of a nasty game, and there were a lot of highlights to pull from it as far as for, kind of dirty stuff. So first one I'm going to have here is the Jason Spezza hit on Neil Pionk. This is after Neil Pionk had knee-on-knee to Rasmus Sandin, who is out for a little while with an injury because of it. Pionk, I apparently no penalty even on the play, so he was kind of trying to get back. So this is the clip. It's not very long.
Who goes down, and then the response down, trying to get it without a stick. Look at the left knee. Dangerous play. The second look from behind.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at that clip, Spezza, after Pionk was already down, heading down anyway, and that's when Spezza, you can see, he decides to, almost like he makes his knee almost into an arrow and goes right for his head. I don't care what anybody else wants to tell me. That's what I see there. Jason Spezza, class act? Not really. I don't know. Does a class act do that? I don't know. Anyway, I didn't hear the suspension. I expect it to be 5 or more. I know the Pionk got 2 games for the knee-on-knee. So here's a little something on that. Now, I didn't hear this personally, but I'm getting this from Twitter. If it's wrong and somebody just doesn't like Elliot Friedman, I apologize. But if this is true, I think my respect for Elliot Friedman's a little bit lessened, and this is this. So apparently, Friedge, that's Elliot Friedman, defending Spezza right now on the Jeff Barrett show. That's in Toronto. Is so typical Toronto-centric media. He literally targeted a player's head who was on the ice, which I just showed you. So how do you defend that? Like, how does anybody defend? I really don't know. I wrote here, Jason Spezza should get 10 games for his knee to the head of a vulnerable Neil Pionk. Whether you're mad at him for the knee on knee, he's still a vulnerable player. You don't go after his head like that. And Pionk apparently is out with concussion-like symptoms. Throw the book at the piece of shit. That's what I'm calling him. He did that deliberately. How much grief did we hear about because of Corey Perry? Total accident, clear in the replay when he went knee on knee against Tavares last playoffs. Doesn't even compare. You can't compare the two, and there's no defending this. That's my opinion. Next up is this guy. I may be a little mean on this one. I'm sorry. I kind of been calling him this anyway. You'll see what I'm talking about. So it's this guy. You recognize this guy? You see AM34. You know who that is. That's Austin Matthews. He's going to be he's going to be in the next Ghostbusters movie, and he's playing the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man because he's so soft. So here's the clip I've got of him, and I'm sorry for some of the language in there. It's not that bad, but you'll let me know what you think.
Players and making a statement, and he can back that up with his play. That's two big men, two big strong boys, two really good hockey players, and if that doesn't get both sides going, seeing your best players competing.
Yeah, sorry. What I see there is, okay, maybe Dubois had him at some points where he couldn't really do much, but at the end when he pushes off and how does he not stand up and just go after the guy, whether the refs are there or not? Defend your pride. How do you not do that? I don't know. And we've seen it before with him. He's you know what I'm not going to say it out loud so people can't say, well, I didn't say it out loud. I wrote it. It's not the same thing. So there you go. Here's what I wrote about that. Austin Matthews is 205 pounds of Toronto Maple Leaf pussy. Won't stand up for himself. Should be laughed out of every arena from now on. And I wrote a joke of the day. I read it to a friend of mine, and he said, "Don't say that. That's not so." I don't think I'm going to use it. But I did write a really good joke. But apparently, I'll get canceled for it. So we won't do that. So there's my sorry, Toronto Maple Leafs fans. I got nothing against you. Sorry, I don't like that guy. Besides the fact that, I'm sure, though, that if Dubois was a female security guard, he would have had no problem taking his pants down, maybe fighting back. I don't know. It's fine with females. All right, let's move on because let's move on. Next up, let me know what you think in the comment section because I'm sure I'll hear about it. So these two guys got fired. That's Travis Green and Jim Benning of the Vancouver Canucks. Finally, we've been waiting for this to happen. Here is Travis Green and Jim Benning fired by Vancouver on Saturday. Green was in his 5th season as coach, replaced by Bruce Boudreau, and they went on and won 4-0 last night in their first game under Boudreau. Benning, in his 8th season as general manager, was replaced by Stan Schmiel with the Canucks, beginning a search for new leadership in the hockey operations department. And they let go assistant GM Weisbrod and assistant coach Nolan Baumgartner, and Scott Walker was named the assistant coach to go along with Bruce Boudreau. Canucks, this is what I wrote. So they were 8-15-2 in their last. And last in the Pacific Division. Stan Schmiel is a career Canuck, drafted 48th overall in 1978. 896 games played. 262 goals, 411 assists, 673 points. So he was a serious hockey player. He'll get a lot of respect because of that. He's a career Canuck. His whole hockey career, a player and after, has been a Canuck. So this is maybe the kind of guy He's interim, I guess, right now, but maybe this is the kind of guy they need there. Somebody who really just loves the team and everything he's got is into that team. Bruce Boudreau, 14 years coaching, 567 wins, 302 losses, 115 overtime or shootout losses with the Caps, Ducks, and the Wild. And he won the Jack Adams Trophy in 2008. Rumored to come to Montreal many times because of his last name, but he's not French. So that's the reason why he wouldn't get here. I kind of gave him a bad rap, but he's got a really good record. Good motivator. This kind of guy you bring in, maybe. I could see a team like Montreal needing a guy like Boudreau, but I mean, he's not French. He's not going to go here. Especially if they bring in an English-based or an Anglophone GM as well as Gorton. Like there's rumors with Kent Hughes. There's no way the coach is going to be an Anglophone as well. Imagine the revolt. Wow. I'd like to see them do it because it might be interesting. All right, next story is, and listen, Alain Vigno fired by Philadelphia Flyers yesterday, along with assistant coach Michel Therrien. So, are they going to go after Vigno and Therrien? Vigno was fired by Gorton when he was with the Rangers, so I don't know. And I hope they don't recycle like this, but the rumors has always been out there, right? Whose turn is it? Apparently, it's Vigno's turn anyway. He just became available. I want to see somebody fresh in there. I don't know, a newer system coach. I know that's what Ducharme's supposed to be. It's not working out, but I don't know. I hope they don't bring Vigno back. So Vigno, they were 8-10-4 at the time of his firing, and on an 8-game losing streak, 0-6-2. Vigno was 54-19 with the Flyers, hired April 15, 2019. He's 722, 489, and 117, plus 35 ties with that's in his career with the Flyers, Rangers, Canucks, and the Habs. Jack Adams Trophy winner in 2007 and the runner-up 4 times. He's a good coach. I'm not saying he's not. He was replaced by Mike Yeo, and Therrien was also fired, as I said. So when asked about the firing, Vigno said that he hadn't heard about it. He said he doesn't pay much attention to the media. He's busy worrying about his team. So I guess apparently not worrying enough about what's in the media. I did want to say this. I think about now I'm going to let that go. So let's get to some Habs injury news because I think that's pretty much all I got. Before we do get to that, Bob Gainey will be part of a committee to help Jeff Gorton in selecting the new GM. If you saw on Twitter where it said that he's heading that committee, he's not. He's just part of the committee. Jeff Gorton is heading the committee, obviously. And I think the rest is, let's go to it. Mattias Norlinder. Canadiens have loaned defenseman Mattias Norlinder to the AHL's Laval Rocket and have recalled defenseman Corey Sheneman. Dominique Ducharme says that Mattias Norlinder will play the next 3 games in Laval and then a decision will be made on what will be the best for his development. Mentions that Laval is an option for the rest of the season. Now, we all were under the impression, and it was true for a certain amount of time, that he had to go back to Sweden if they were going to put him in Laval. He was in Laval earlier on a conditioning stint, and that's why they were able to do it. So the question is, how is this able to happen that he goes to Laval? And the answer is this. So Habs official says, although Norlinder is on loan to Laval for the next 3 games, he's eligible to finish the season in the AHL because he was on an NHL roster up to December 1st as per agreement with the SHL. That's the Swedish Hockey League. So because he was on the Habs roster on December 1st, it means that he no longer has to be – the Habs are no longer bound by that part where they have to send him back to Sweden. That's finished. So that's why he's allowed to go to Laval. So, I mean, good. I think it's probably better for him to go to Laval, stay there, play a lot of minutes, and not be bounced back and forth. So, going to Sweden, maybe coming back, whatever. This might be the best for him. We'll see. I guess his early season injury where he had to be have that stint in Laval and he was injured kept him possibly longer here to be on the roster. So it might work out better for his development. We'll see how that goes. More injury update. Okay, so yes, this is from yesterday. Jeff Petrie was out for a therapy day. He's apparently day-to-day. Armia, therapy day-to-day. And Tyler Toffoli now, upper body injury, won't practice this morning, but it says Tyler Toffoli will undergo further evaluation. That happened. By the way, Laurent Dauphin has been recalled. So the further evaluation has happened, and it's been speculated, or they're doing it now, and it's speculated that he'll be out for a few weeks. Not a week, but it'll be weeks. So I don't know if that's 2, 3, whatever. Tyler Toffoli out long-term, minorly long-term. I don't know how to put it. So that's new. It's always something new here. Now, on the Jeff Petrie and Armia, they're not in the game tonight. Taking their place for Petrie will be the new kid. Cale Clegg will be in the lineup for Petrie. Not necessarily, obviously, in first pairing, but he'll be in the lineup. And Laurent Dauphin will replace Armia in the lineup today as well. So I should have taken that down. Now, more injury news. Ducharme said Edmondson is basically starting over from scratch in his recovery from a back injury. No specific incident at practice sent him back, but this is where he's at. Has to be extremely frustrating to the player. Good news is doctors have ruled out surgery. So we were expecting Edmondson to be back soon. Not happening. So Edmondson out. Great. So we don't know how long. I guess that's indefinite. He's on the IR. And is there any more bad news? Let's see what I got up here. Price update, Carey Price update. Ducharme says it's day-to-day with him. It's unlikely he's going to be back before Christmas. And I said just the other day, I kind of think I don't expect to see him before January. And with all the upheaval and everything, as I was saying earlier, answering that question, yeah, maybe we don't see Price again in a Habs uniform on the ice. Is possibility. We'll have to see how that goes. I'm talking off the top of my head there. I don't have any proof of that. So we'll have to see how that goes. I do have a little bit more, and then we'll get to you guys, and then I'll do the actual preview. Or do I have a little bit more? I don't think I do. Yeah, that was it. I have the joke of the day that I was told I shouldn't say, so I'm not going to. All right, let's see who's here. Filibuster. I'm doing good. Yeah, I mean, listen, if we're going to, I'd rather have the season go good, or if we're going to go really bad and get that pick, let it just go bad, and we'll make do. Definitely a day, a night comparison for the knee hits for sure. Yeah, well, what was I talking about? No, for the head, the knee to the head. The knee on knee I didn't show. Okay, so that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, that Corey Perry hitting Tavares. I mean, Perry was skating, Tavares fell in front of him. That's not the same as guy going down, and then you can clearly see Spezza go, yeah, I'm going for him. And I swear, to me in my head, his knee's like an arrow point, goes straight for him. And it happens after Pionk goes down. He's skating there, and you can see him go right at him. I don't care. You can't deny it. Even if you're a Habs fan, deny that. And if you do, I think you need glasses. I know I need glasses, and I know I saw that right. I need new glasses. I'm going to be getting some soon. I don't know how many fights, Linksy. I don't really follow it that closely because I get all this stuff off Twitter. But it was a nasty game, a really nasty game. Nah, I don't think I can do that without. It had to do with transgenderism, and I don't want to take the chance that, I'm not making fun of transgenderism. I'm actually pointing it at somebody, but yeah, it might get taken the wrong way. So think of transgenderism and Captain Underpants. I'll put it that way. And if you know who he is, then yeah, I'm not saying the name. I probably got in trouble just doing that. Drake, me too, kind of. I'd like to see how Clegg works out. He says his game is kind of how did he say it? Well, he wants to bring a lot of energy. He thinks he has good vision, can move the puck. I can't remember the first part of it, but I mean, he the way he describes himself, I mean, that's the kind of guy we need on defense. We need those guys on defense, or the forwards just, it's hard to spring them when you haven't got guys that can move the puck. If he works out, and he's got potential, he's got some good upside. He left to his game. He's only 23. I'm kind of excited to see that this kid could. I'm not expecting a superstar, but just a good, solid player. That would be awesome on the waiver wire, kind of like Brett Kulak pickup, right? And a Paul Byron pickup, kind of like that. Because I think we got Kulak on the waiver wire. I know Byron we got on the waiver wire like that. Yeah, Slinksy, I mean, that's horrible. They were saying, well, they caught him under his chin, not at the head, but he's out with concussion-like symptoms. I think he caught him in the head. You can see it. I mean, it's ridiculous. And no penalty on the play. That's the thing that amazes me. No penalty on the play, I believe. You can see the refs there. Don't understand it. Don't understand what's with the refs. They don't care anymore. Take people's heads off. It's okay. And by the same token, the Austin Matthews thing, Matthews got 2 minutes for that. Like, I don't really see where, and I'll agree, I don't see where he got 2 minutes for that, but they went into the corner. Maybe something happened in the corner before that happened. That's what happened before. They both went into the corner, and then this started right after. So, I don't know. So I'm not really defending Matthews, but I mean, did he really should have got two minutes for that? I don't know. Guy throwing you around and you get penalized for that doesn't make sense. But it's Austin Matthews, so what do I care? No, I do care. I think actually it was stupid. Refs, what's wrong with the refs, man? Lots. Okay, let's get into the preview since there's nothing more there. Okay, here's the game. After I cough and take a drink, how's that? Tampa Bay Lightning, 15-5-4, 34 points, third in the Atlantic, versus the Montreal Canadiens at home, 6-17-3, 31st in the league, 15 points, 7th. Actually, that's different. I got it yesterday. They're now 8th in the Atlantic. And maybe Tampa's a little higher by a spot. I don't know. Montreal, Ottawa won last night ahead of Montreal, and Montreal's last in the Atlantic. How to watch this game tonight? Start time is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific. In the Montreal or the Canadiens region, TSN 2 in English, RDS in French, and in the Lightning's region, Bally Sports Sun. Streaming, legal streaming, ESPN Plus, NHL Live, RDS Direct, TSN Direct, and if you're not so legally streaming, on Sports Surge, excuse me. And betting lines. Spread, Tampa Bay minus 1.5 for plus 135. Montreal plus 1.5 for minus 155. Money line, Tampa minus 200. Montreal plus 170. Over under, it's a 5.5. I'm surprised. I would have thought Tampa, with the way Montreal is, that it would be a higher. If you take the over, minus 115. If you take the under, minus 105. Last 10 games, both teams 7-2-1 for Tampa on a 3-game winning streak, 2-7-1 for Montreal, kind of the opposite on a 1-game overtime loss. Tail of the tape. Scoring chances for percentage, 48% for Montreal. That keeps coming down, 21st. 51.4% for the Lightning, 11th. Goals per game, 2.27 for Montreal, 29th. 3.29 for the Lightning, that's 8th. That's a full 1 goal per game more. Goals against per game, 3.58 for Montreal, 29th. 2.63 for Lightning, that's 7th. So they score 1 goal per game more, and they give up 1 goal per game less than Montreal. Well, this should not be good. Power play percentage, 13.6% for Montreal, 30th. So it came up 0.6%. 20th for Tampa. That's 14th. That's decent. It's not great. PK percentage, 71.3% for Montreal, 30th. Wow, that PK, they've had a good couple of games with the PK that's come up. 83.6 for the Lightning, that is 11th. And head-to-head record in the Stanley Cup final, as we all know, Montreal 1-4, and Lightning won it 4-1. And that's that. Face-off percentage for 49.2% for Tampa, that's 20th, and Montreal 48.3%, that's 23rd. That's a surprise that Tampa's not a little better on the faceoffs, but they'll probably still beat Montreal anyway that way. Goalies tonight, no confirmation, so I'm going to say Vasilevsky, 12-4-3, 213 goals against, a 927 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Jake Allen, who it should be Jake Allen, 5-11-2 with a 301 goals against and 907 save percentage on it. 2 shutouts for himself as well. Players to watch last 5 games for Tampa. Victor Hedman, 8 points. Corey Perry, 4 goals. Probably get one tonight. Victor Hedman, 6 assists. And Pierre Belmar. I don't know what I'm just got Pierre E. Belmar, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what his second name is there. I'm babbling now. So Belmar, there you go. 5 plus 5. Stop babbling, Rick. Toffoli, 5 points. Anderson, 3 goals. Anderson is out. Toffoli is out. Toffoli, 4 assists. Dvorak, plus 3. So the 2 of the 3 leaders there are out tonight. We don't have them. Team leaders. Goals. Stamkos for Tampa, 12. Anderson for Montreal, 7. Not in the lineup. Points. Stamkos, 27. Toffoli, 17 for Montreal, not in the lineup. Average ice time, Hedman, 25:04. Montreal, Petrie, 23:21, not in the lineup. Wins, Vasilevsky, 12, and Allen for Montreal, 5. It should be in the lineup. Current line, what are we looking at? Tampa Bay away record, 7-2-2. Montreal at home, 4-8-1. Record versus the spread, 12-12-0 for Tampa. 10-16-0 for Montreal. Record versus over-under, 13-10-1 for Tampa, 14-12-0 for Montreal. Versus the opponent, last 3 seasons, 8-1-0 Tampa, 1-8-0 Montreal. So obviously we're not winning very often against Tampa. Last 10 games versus spread, 6-4-0 for Tampa, 4-6-0 for Montreal. And last 10 games versus over-under, 7-3-0 for Tampa, 6-4-0 for Montreal. And we got that's the Atlantic Division. As you see, Montreal now last. Tampa still in third. So I don't know. Now, this is the lineup that was in practice yesterday. It was the same today at the pregame skate. I'm going to just show this first because it's got the injuries and stuff. So we got, I don't know if it's the same. This is what I found on NHL.com. Suzuki in between Drew and Hoffman, Dvorak centering Lehkonen and Evans, Paling centering Perreault and Caulfield. So we're going to see Paling and Caulfield together. That should be interesting. Paquette centering Pezzetta and Dauphin. And then we got on defense, Sherratt and Savard together. So that should be like kiss of death right there. Romanov and Weidman together, Kulak and Clegg together. And then that's if they keep these pairings. Jake Allen as a starter. Sheneman was scratched, even though he was called up. Injured, Tyler Toffoli, upper body. Armia, undisclosed. Petrie, upper body. Anderson, upper body. Edmondson, undisclosed, but we know it's his back. And still on COVID protocol. Gallagher and Niku, a decimated lineup. And that is the pregame show. Well, no, that's the preview, excuse me. All right, what did I miss here? So in the Spezza, there was a penalty, but not on the knee. Okay, so there you go. I wasn't sure, though. And I didn't hear what the suspension is. That came out today. I didn't see anything about it. So I guess it's got to be at least 5 because it was in person. Oh, it's Edouard. That's right. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. That's right. Now I remember. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. So, While I wait for more comments, give a thumbs up if you're having a good time or enjoyed the preview and my stories about the Toronto Maple Leafs. No, I don't hate the Maple. What? Can you tell I hate them? No, come on, I don't. I don't like the Maple Leafs. I don't have anything against Maple Leaf fans, right? My hate is for the team, not the people that are the fans, as long as they don't send hate my way. But some of them do. Not too often, and we've got a few here, right? ASE is a Maple Leaf fan. Zachary, so we got 2, 3, 4. There's maybe 4, 5 Maple Leaf fans that are regulars here, and they're perfectly civil people, friends of the channel, and there's no problem. So I have no problem with fans, but I don't like the Maple Leafs. I'm sorry. And there's a few players on there I don't like. I mean, I really don't like it. I'm not going to hide my hate for them. I'm sorry. Why should I? Believe me, if we had a guy here, well, we did. We have that pick last year that I don't even mention his name, okay? I don't even mention his name, and this guy's a nobody in the hockey world, and yet they've got a star player over there that bought his way out of a sex charge, and boy, he's idolized. And I don't get it, because if that happened, I don't care who it is, Nick Suzuki, if that happened with him, I wouldn't talk about him again. Why? I wouldn't, but they do, right? But we're supposed to feel shame about the pick that they made, Montreal, right? And yet they idolize this guy. Yeah, I don't know. That's hypocrisy to me. Logan's a Tampa Bay fan. All right. Hey, Logan, thanks for coming in. Appreciate that. You know, as long as you're civil, I welcome everybody from any fan base, you know, with no, as long as you're like civil about it. But welcome in, buddy. I'm not sure if you've been here before. I don't recognize the name. Phil saying Shamir is a Leafs super fan, if I remember. Shamir? No, Shamir's not a Leafs fan. Corey Perry had dinner with Toffoli and Anderson. I saw a picture from that. They probably really didn't, you know, they discussed the situation, I'm sure. They're friends. I mean, they're friends. They were teammates last year. You know what? Cole Caulfield, I saw a quote from him saying that he really respects Corey Perry and calls him for advice and stuff like that. But he said, you know, but on the ice, there's no friends on the ice. He said, I'll have to do something tonight to him. But so, you know, they're friends, but when a game is on, they're not friends on the ice. I don't think they'd hurt each other purposely or anything like that. But, yeah. Oh, Logan from Hot Take Hockey. Awesome. Appreciate that. I don't think John would like my take on what I just said about Leafs, but, you know, I have nothing against Leafs fans. Nothing. When I was a kid, you know, I grew up with guys that, you know, they didn't all like the Habs. They liked other teams, and we talked about it and whatever, and we ribbed each other or whatever, but we didn't hate each other. And I don't understand why we have to hate each other. We can hate each other's teams, yes, but we don't have to hate each other. Yeah, Phil, he guesses the Leafs to win because he's not going by his heart. He's going what his head says. He always did that. That was Shamir. Yeah. Which I wouldn't know now because they don't talk to me, so I don't really know anymore. And why? Well, you got to ask him why, because with Shamir, I have zero idea why. Corey Perry's more deserving of the Hall of Fame than any Habs since Markov retired. Yeah, Corey Perry could get into the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's got the awards, he's got the accolades. I mean, he's done the things that you could say could get him to the Hall of Fame. Yeah, definitely. Will Markov get to the Hall of Fame? I don't know that Markov would. So sorry, I don't know that Markov's a Hall of Famer. I love Markov, thought he's a great player, but he didn't have the stuff that Perry won, you know. So I don't know. What do you guys think of the start time, 4:00? It gives people time to watch it afterward. But I don't know if it's any good for people to show up, and I hope I don't piss anybody off. I'm just experimenting. So I don't know that I'll do this often or I'll keep doing. I don't know. I'm sorry, but it's always good for a replay. You can always replay. And I think I'll start timestamping the comments so that if you watch it on replay and you want to make a guess, it'll be timestamped when, and then, so I'm gonna have that happening. So we'll see what happens. I just want to give the pregame show a little bit more time to be seen by more people. That's all. That's all. It is definitely a mercenary reason, but I think it's okay. I also noticed a lot of other people do the pregame show or something like that, and they do it early in the afternoon or like pre-recorded. So I figured this was okay. I don't get that. Why people to chat to Old Man Rick? Why don't people? I don't get that. Sorry, Phil. Markov maybe in the Russia Hall of Fame. Yeah, okay, I get that, but I don't know that he's done enough to get into the NHL Hall of Fame. Renault, that's a very. I think it's a possibility. Weber might. I mean, I could see Weber not getting into the Hall. Price might not get in the Hall. If Price doesn't win a cup, it'll be a challenge for him to get in. He won't get in on first shot. If he wins a cup, I think Price could get in first time, but maybe not without winning a cup. So, and it should be that way because it shouldn't be easy to get into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, Phil, for Markov, yeah, for sure. I'm in Russia, if they have a Hall of Fame, which I'm sure they do, for sure he gets in there. But here, I don't know. I mean, there's guys in there you would think shouldn't be in there, but I think it should be hard to get into the Hall of Fame. You got to accomplish things. You have to have stood out from your peers, either at your position or just in general. You have to stand out. You can't just be someone like everybody else. And right now, I think Price, literally, honestly, as much as I hate to say it, but without winning a cup, I don't know that he stands out enough. Yeah, Slinksy, it's a good reason why I kind of, with things going on now, if they're doing a rebuild, send Price somewhere where he can win a cup. He deserves it. It'll get him into the Hall of Fame, and I'll be very happy for him. And it won't be the same as Patrick Roy because it's not the same situation. And Patrick Roy had already won two. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of, I don't know what's going to be with Price. I'm not sure how I feel. I don't know, and I'm not an insider, but, in my opinion, I'm not sure what it is yet. If he's going to come back, are they going to get him to come back, play a little bit, try to trade him? Or is he going to agree to stay through any kind of rebuild? He could do that. It's up to him. He's got a no movement clause, so it's totally up to him. I hope he chooses to say, send me somewhere where I can win a cup. He deserves it, and I won't feel bad. I won't feel mad at him or anything like that. Renault, I'm old-fashioned, so to be very frank with you, I would go with the 5-minute overtime, and if there's no score, then it's a tie game. So I'd have overtime and ties. Like you'd have to have an extra, but I would have tie games. I think there was nothing wrong with tie games, and I would, yes. But I would do the overtime. I like the 5-minute overtime. I like it at 3-on-3 too. Weirdly as that seems, maybe you want to be more to the tradition and go 4-on-4, but I don't mind the 3-on-3. I find it really exciting. Did you see Fedorov taking the goalie out for the overtime and winning 2 games in a row that way? That's ballsy, but so yeah. I mean, I don't know how they'd work that, but I'm old-fashioned that way. I thought nothing wrong with the tie game. So there you go. See, we don't always agree, Renault, but we agree on that. So there you go, right? You never know, right? Yeah, I like the 3-on-3 OT. I know that's weird because you'd think I'd be more traditional, but it's kind of fun to watch. So, Quinn, I kind of would think, though, right? It's still the Montreal Canadiens, and for some reason they have a way of playing better against better teams. So I don't even know what to think, but you got to look at it going in. Montreal's with everything, that lineup that's there. Like, I don't see how they could win here or even make a showing, and then they do. So let's see. I don't know, but I agree with you. I think they're going to get slaughtered, and I mean, I'm okay with them being the shittiest team in the league. I'm okay with that this year. For 2 more years, I'm okay with that. After that, I'd like to see them start getting better, but I'd like to see them take advantage of the 2 prizes that are at the top of the draft for the next 2 years, and try to get them legitimately without. I mean, they're a shitty team right now. No need to put a Band-Aid on a team that's shitty, and then you just keep being shitty. Phil said, and Phil won't go against Montreal, and I get it, but Phil says Habs 5-3 with a guy scoring first. Who was left? Lehkonen, pretty much. No, there's a few more than that, but I mean, it's getting that where there's not a lot left. I remember at the beginning of the season we were saying the Rocket are so much better than the Habs. Well, they're almost all here now. It's not really true, but it feels like it. Essentially, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Laval Rocket. Not exactly, but I mean, kind of, right? It feels, like I just said, it feels like it, but it's not. We have a very watered down NHL team. I mean, I'm just gonna go with that because that's what it is. I'm gonna stay another few minutes. Then I'm gonna go make some stir fry tonight. I want to see how I like this too, the split between the game. So it gives me time to do things. Then I have the game and I don't have to eat kind of weirdly. So we'll see. I'm trying to regulate my day as well a little better. Tampa's missing all their players. Who are they missing? I don't know, but from what I've seen of their lineup, I don't know that. Let's look at their lineup to see if that's true. And who knows, this lineup might not. I might not have given their lineup, and I don't think I did. So here's their lineup. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't go back on their lineup. Sorry about that, guys. Stamkos with Palat and Joseph. Yeah, that doesn't look like a normal first line. Cirelli with Killorn and Fortier. Belmar with Maroon and Perry. Colton, Kachuk, and Radish. Hedman and Ruda. McDonough and Bogosian. Sergachev and Foote. Sergachev on third pairing. And Vasilevsky and net with Elliott backing them up. So, yeah, it looks like the reason that the Lightning are in third in the division is that that's not a real typical Lightning lineup. But, all they need to do is get to the playoffs like anybody else. So they're third in the division, and that should do them well. And there's still a lot of season left for a team that's in that position to still get into first place. So, right? So we'll see how that goes. Quinn, yeah, I mean, yeah. I have no choice. I mean, I can't watch less, but although speaking of that, so in case I don't mention it in the show, Thursday's game is Chicago. If anybody remembers, before the season started, I said I'm boycotting Chicago because of Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane and that situation there with the what happened there, and their attitudes towards it and their involvement in it and whatever. I'm boycotting there, and I'm boycotting Winnipeg Jets games. So that means tonight's game, there's a game next month, the second Chicago game, and then the 2 Winnipeg games are March and April. So just so you know, but I think we're going to be doing a membership drive video on Thursday in place of it. So I'll be putting that up on tomorrow or Thursday. And so I'm going to definitely be on the live stream, and I'll probably have the game on just so we can keep up on it and give you the score, but I'm not doing the live stream for the game. That's my way of protesting and boycotting and saying I don't like that. I just don't like it, so we're not doing it. So sorry about that, but I will be here for those games. I'll do a live stream, but not a hangout, different kind. Why keep trotting out Drouin? Well, right now it's the bodies. I think there's not a lot of bodies anyway, so I don't know. Listen, I don't think we're gonna find. How do I want to put this? I don't think we're going to get a lot of movement and trade until they get a GM in place. So this is not going to happen overnight. I think it's as we get closer to the trade deadline that it'll heat up. That's my opinion. So, you got to play the guys that are here. Phil, wait. What are we boycotting and why? Well, okay, so the Kyle Beach, the sex, the rape, the guy that whatever. I'm boycotting Chicago because of the stuff that Kane and Taves said about it. I don't like that. I don't want to have to say their names and they score or whatever. I just don't want to deal with it this year. So there's only 2 games. I'm boycotting those, and the same thing for Winnipeg because Winnipeg's GM is still the guy that got away with it. So, I think he should have been disciplined. What's his name now? I can't even remember his name. That's that's why I'm doing that. It means 4 games out of 82. I'm doing 78 games instead of 82 this season. That's all. Yeah, Renault, I expect them to, they'll address that when the new GM is here and they decide who's moving out and who's not. I expect Drouin to go. He's got 1 year left on his contract. It's the perfect time to move him. And I think the guys that are like that with the expiring contracts, you got to move those guys. Well, Roger, you can't sit everybody out. So there is a chance that there'll be a guy they can't trade during the season because of injury. But if they really want to trade him, so they'll move him in the offseason. That's all. Right? It'll be something like that. Phil's my biggest poetry fan. You know what? My problem is only that I can't write without inspiration. So unless I magically get an inspiration, and it happens, that's when I write poetry. I right now, I just, for some reason, it's just, I'm not inspired. I can't help it. I don't have a muse, I guess. But I'll definitely write some more. It's got to happen when it happens. Probably in February I'll have time. It takes time too. It takes time to write a good, especially when I want to be specific about some of the subject matter. It can't just come out of whatever. I want to put in certain things, and think it's really hard to write that, and it takes time, and I don't know. So sorry. While I do enjoy writing it, it's got to happen. What's the word I'm looking for? It's got to happen just on its own, naturally. Literature. I don't have a literature degree. Definitely don't. Nope. It's just I don't know. I want to say natural ability if that's what it is, but yeah. Organically, Phil. That's the word. Yeah, it's got to happen organically, or it doesn't really happen. So, but when it hits me, I definitely write stuff. I'm not a poet, Quinn. I'm not. I write hockey poetry, but I would never call myself a poet. And music, I don't write. No. I play guitar badly, and I haven't played in a while, but I don't write music. Oh, Phil, you have a literature degree. Awesome. But I don't. I really don't. I don't have any degrees. It's an insult to Danault and Galley to pay them the same salary as a Drouin who does nothing. Well, Galley gets more than Drouin right now. Danault left, so I have a feeling you're going to be hating on Drouin tonight. It's okay. It's okay. But listen, you got to give him time. I sort of expected some maybe a trade by now. I wasn't sure, but I kind of think they're going to wait until they got their management team in place before they, unless like a deal comes up where you're just almost like you can't refuse it. Other than that, I don't think we'll see much happen. I think Drouin getting handed such a nice contract without earning it because caused a lot of infighting amongst players. Yeah, I doubt that. Yeah, I doubt that's sensationalism, and yeah, I doubt the players go around the dressing room. I'm not talking to him. He makes too much money. Come on, really? I don't think so. No, that's TV that's just TV. I would in movies and TV. And I'm not saying it never happens, and there aren't guys that might be like that, but to say that a lot of infighting amongst players and use multiple, I can't see that. I missed an O, but I'm quite happy with Drouin. Guys' what's that? 5.5 isn't much. No, then listen. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's. If they're upset, it's not something that affects the team. Lucic got 7 times 7. That or 6 times. Yeah, that was but that's. I mean, he got way overpaid, and I don't think he gave much back in return. Quinn, yeah, I mean, I know I've announced I'm going to do a video. I'm not sure what to do. I'm kind of thinking I might wait and see if they'll announce if it's a rebuild, a reset, a retool, whatever they're going to call it. But I have those 4 guys on my way out right now on my list as guys you trade if you can. Renault, it's sometimes it's not about the agents don't get that. What they do is they get the offer, they negotiate, then they go to the player, and maybe the player will say no or yes. But I don't think a guy goes to an agent and says, "I'm getting 6.5 because Drouin's getting 5." Like no, I don't think that happens. That's too much sensationalism, and yeah, that's TV and maybe magazines. I mean, that's not really what happens. That's fiction. And that's my opinion, I'm giving you my opinion. I'm not saying you're an idiot or anything like that. I'm just saying that that's my opinion. I don't agree with that. And you're listening to sensationalism. And you know that you'll get that on the radio a lot and stuff. But those guys, they're looking for people to listen. They want people to listen. They're trying to give them a reason to. And today, it's all clickbait, and I wouldn't listen to it. I try not to do that too much. Only keep the young guys: Suzuki, Romanov, Caulfield, Evans, Gallagher can stay out of respect. Gallagher, I think you make him captain. He's leadership. You got to have some of those kind of guys here as well. So I agree with that, Quinn. For Lehkonen, I'm kind of on the fence either way. Like Lehkonen, I think you can keep or you can move, and I think you're okay. I like Lehkonen. I think you need a guy like that if you're going to be a winner. But it's one of those things, till we get to that point where we're contenders. I mean, I could see them moving him. Yeah, I don't know that Lehkonen, he might earn 3. He might earn that contract. We'll see. If they're moving a lot of guys, right, and bringing in younger guys, so they'll have the room for those kind of contracts. Hey, Denis Brassard, how's it going? I think Armia is going to be moved, yeah. Lehkonen, I think, can go either way. I think keeping Lehkonen isn't a half-assed thing. Like, I don't know. But I do, like, I have him on the side to move, but I kind of think that, he could go either way. He brings you stuff. He brings you a game that when you're a young team like that and you make a lot of mistakes, a defensive side of the game that I think could be important. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. They haven't announced anything, Quinn, so I don't know what they're going to do. So, but I kind of think, yeah, you identify the core, the young core of this team. You put a few guys, you keep a few of the leadership kind of guys, not a ton, and pretty much everybody else is on the market. You might not be able to move some of them, but you try. That's a rebuild, and I'm not sure yet where they're going to go. Nothing's really said from anything that I've heard that, oh, these guys are going to go for a full rebuild. They're going to take their time. They're going to make the right decision. And I don't think we hear about it till after they name a GM. I think they're going to name a GM first. And we'll see. We'll see who that is. I think in between, though, Gorton can make decisions. I don't know that Gorton's going to be on the phone, though, like a GM would until then. So, and again, I could be wrong. Okay, we'll go another 5 minutes. And then I'm going to go make my stir fry. And then I'll be back at 7. Hopefully Matt will be back here with me. I didn't really speak to him for the last 2 days, so I don't know. But I think I had asked him earlier than that if he was going to be in Monday or Tuesday, and he usually is on Tuesday, so I expect that he'll be here. So we'll see. Quinn, I find a lot of teams are doing that now anyway. Don't you find there's more pre-trade deadline moves than there usually are or normally had been? So I kind of think Sherratt's going to go quicker than trade deadline day because I think a lot of teams are going to be interested in him. So yeah, and I think there's players here that can help teams that think they have a chance. And I think by the time, I guess it's in March, right? So by the time March 1st rolls around, I think you're going to see some deals like when we get back from the Olympic break, if there is one. Yeah. I think then we're going to have some big movement. Will guys move before that? I think if deals can be made, if something happens, if they get a call and it's the right kind of thing, I could see a move happening. Other than that, I don't know. Quinn, I don't agree with that last assessment. If you watched his press conference, Gordon, and I'm going to believe him when he says that they're going to work in tandem. He wants a guy that can contribute and can help him make the decisions, and even make some of the decisions on his own eventually. So, do I think Gordon is going to let the guy just no? But I don't know that he's really going to be the only guy on the phones and doing that. They're going to bring in a guy that's got contacts and that's going to man the phones and be able to start making deals, and they're going to decide on them together. I mean, that's what I see. I don't see Gordon as a guy that's going to be like iron-fisted and micromanager. I don't see that from him. So, yeah. So, no, I think, yeah, the guy's going to be a guy that can speak French, and he'll be the face of that, but I don't think it's going to be a guy that's a puppet. No. Where I thought that. I did think that going in, and then when I saw his press conference, I think I don't think he's going to have that. So, I think it's good. I think the more points of view and looking at things from different angles and then working together to make a decision, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Quinn, he has said that. He came out, he said that he's going to work in tandem. He's going to empower his GM. He wouldn't want to take a GM job where he has no say and no power, and he wouldn't do that to his GM. So, yeah, that's why I don't think there's going to be a ton happening until there's a GM in place. Yeah, Phil, that might happen. I don't know how much dealing with Carolina they'll do, though. But we'll see. Listen, we're going to find out what happens, right? It's going to happen in the next few months. I just think if this team really wants to tank, let them take their time to make the moves, do them at the right time, boom, and then they're going to be in the running for that lottery win. And to me, that's all you can't guarantee getting that first pick, right? So all you can do is put yourself in that position to be there, and that's it. Quinn, that's the whole point, right? They're moving forward into the new era. It's a new era for them, and it's about time Molson made this decision. And I think it's a good one. And I like the guy that he chose. I'm glad he jumped on it. I'm glad he jumped on getting Gordon. The first time they've done something where they got the best guy available, apparently. And I believe if he's not he's right there with anybody else. They don't do that very often for the last 30 years. So, yeah. So I'm very excited about what's going to happen in the next few months. Phil, you're right. I think the feud with Carolina should be over with the changing of management. I mean, I think it should be over. Unless it's the owner against Molson. But I think the owner was mad at Bergevin, not Molson. I think with Bergevin gone, I think that feud should be over. We'll see. I still don't like them, but I think the feud should be over. All right, so we got a good over an hour for this. I hope everybody was cool. I mean, we don't have as many people normal at 6:00, but it gives time for other people to watch it. So I hope everybody was good with it. I might try this again at 4 next time. I don't know. Remember, Thursday, not doing a pregame show, but I will be doing a live stream. It'll be a membership drive type thing, and I'll update on the game. I'll have the game on just so I can update it here, but we're not going to do a typical hockey game. So that's how we're going to boycott. I hope people will join us, and we'll have a good time. So I'll be back at 7, hopefully with Matt. Matt should be here to do the play-by-play. I'll do the commentary. We'll have some fun in a game that probably won't be fun for us. So we'll do the best we can. So thanks, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. And like I said, see you in a couple hours. And until then, stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. And I'll see you in that couple hours. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.